guys, and welcome to the Coffee and Heroes Show, your weekly update of everything that's happening at Coffee and Heroes in Smithfield in Belfast. So, usual stuff as ever this week, new graphic novels that have arrived in, new single issue releases, which I'll be going through in a second as well. Just a couple of things. First of all, anybody who has CGC stuff away with us, anyone who sent stuff away a few months ago, it's all arrived back. I've dropped messages out to everybody, but just to let you know that it is in store and ready for collection. There will be some new slabs going up for sale in store as well. We're just processing those at the moment. And anyone who's dropped stuff in with us sort of in the last few weeks, that's going today. So that's the cutoff point reached for that. So usually 8 to 12 weeks, anywhere around that. Pull lists as well. I mention it every week, but we're going to give it to the end of July. Anything that's not picked up by the end of July, we're just going to have to put out. We've some pull lists in there that have been going 6, 7, 8 months, and it's just gone too long, and we just can't sustain it anymore, unfortunately. So I'll put it up through the social medias as well. Just anything not picked up by the end of July, we're just going to have to put out. It's not fair on other customers as well. There's people come in looking for titles that maybe we don't have any left in the racks because they're being held behind the counter, and then people aren't coming in for them, that kind of thing. So we have to be fair about this. If there's stuff you want taken off your pull list, take it off. I had someone come in this week, take 10 titles off, 7 of which were due this week. We're not going to hold you to those 7 titles, even though they're already ordered. We understand circumstances change. It is a little difficult to deal with sometimes, but that's always been our mantra. We're not going to force people to pick up things, that kind of thing. But so just if there's anything you're not enjoying, as I say, just drop a message. We'll always take it straight off, even if it's the day before release, that kind of thing. So that's those bits and pieces. Just to go through in the store, we're going to be going through the website, making some changes over the next few weeks. Chris and I are going to be working on a project there to make it more user-friendly, to make it easier to navigate, and to make sure that all of our website stock is on there. We still stock upstairs that just isn't on the website or, isn't in the store. It's just the sheer volume of it. But, we want to give you guys as much choice as possible. So, we'll be splitting that stock between the store and the website. And as I say, working on a bit of a project over the next few weeks. But just to take you through today's releases, as I say, when it comes to DC, there's a big emphasis on Night Terrors, which is their new event for the next 2 months. It's been a hard one to order for. I'm not going to lie. I haven't ordered in tons of stuff for the racks because the pre-orders haven't been particularly massive. Now, for me, I think it looks really good. It's horror-based. There's great creators working on it. You've basically got a main series of 4 titles, 4 issues. With a one-shot to start and to finish. And then you've got a series of 2-issue mini-series, focused on different characters. So as I say, we'll always order stuff in for the racks, but I just haven't ordered a lot of it in because, again, the pre-orders are not particularly massive on it. There's still 1 or 2 DC titles sneaking through though as well, besides Night Terrors, so we'll take you through those as well. So we'll kick things off with Adventures of Superman, Jonathan Kent. We're up as far as issue 5 of 6 for this mini-series. Of course, Tom Taylor continuing to work on this, Clayton Henry on art. So as I say, the penultimate issue of that. With regards to Night Terrors, the first thing you will need is Night Terrors First Blood. So this is essentially your alpha issue. There was a preview of this in the free comic book day stuff as well. And then this is the full issue. This is basically going to set the template for what is going to follow. So there's that. Then, as I say, a 4-issue mini-series, and then there'll be an Omega issue at the end. So in terms of Night Terrors 2-issue mini, so kick things off unsurprisingly with Batman. Joshua Williamson working on this, along with Guillaume March, Tomei Moret on colors as well. So again, these are all going to be 2 issues, 1 a month for these 2 months. And again, just to re-emphasize, the main titles are not going to be running for 2 months. So you're not going to have a core Zdarsky Batman title for 2 months, but you are going to have 2 issues of Night Terrors Batman in case you need to scratch that itch. Next up, we have Night Terrors Black Adam from Jeremy Kwan on writing duties for this. Definitely one of the most interesting looking ones for me, which is Matthew Rosenberg writing and Stefano Raffaele on art, is Night Terrors the Joker. Clearly his worst nightmare is a boring life working in a call center. But I think this will be a lot of fun. Next up, you have Night Terrors Poison Ivy. G. Willow Wilson writing this one. So again, 2 issues there. And then one of the things I think is pretty cool about this is there are a few characters who are getting the 2-issue mini that you wouldn't normally see too much in the main DC universe. You know, Zatanna's getting her own title, for example. Another one of those is definitely Ravager as well. So again, this will be another 2-issuer. This is Ed Brisson writing, Dexter Soy on art. And then going back to the traditional DC stuff, a couple of titles. We have Peacemaker Tries Hard, book 3 of this. Can't emphasize enough how good this is. Again, if you like the TV show, this is perfect for fans of that. And then we finish off DC with Steelworks. We're up to issue 2 of this. Glorious Clayman cover there for the mini-series for Steelworks. So we move on from there and on to Marvel. Quite a big week for Marvel. Lots of titles. First of all, we have Captain America 750. So this is essentially a culmination of Captain America Sentinel of Liberty and Symbol of Truth before the relaunch for Captain America with J. Michael Straczynski. So if you're on Sentinel of Liberty or Symbol of Truth, we put this in your box and then you can, you know, finish off that run essentially before jumping on to the JMS stuff. So nice oversized bad boy, beautiful Gary Frank cover for that. We have the last issue this week of Clobbering Time, the Steve Skroce mini-series dealing with The Thing. So that was a 5-issuer, last issue this week. We have the second to last issue of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. Daredevil will culminate at 14 for Zdarsky's run, a good few years on that. Fantastic run before it gets taken over, Saladin Ahmed taking over the main title. You have Doctor Strange, we're up as far as issue 5, so Jed MacKay continuing on this, Pasquale Ferry on art. We have Edge of Spider-Verse, we're up as far as issue 4, so there will be one more to come, I believe. And again, this is a mixture of creators working on this and a couple of different minis in there, sort of anthology based. You have Extreme Venomverse, which is number 4. Again, some creators there you may recognize. Unsurprisingly, Peach Momoko getting involved with this one, Alyssa Wong, another. So again, one more issue to come after that. We're continuing on with Ryan North's Fantastic Four, which I've been really, really enjoying. Again, I've never been a Fantastic Four sort of run guy, but this has sort of brought me around to it. I think it's been great so far. Glorious Alex Ross cover as ever. We have nice facsimile in this week for Incredible Hulk 180. Depending on your point of view, it's either the first appearance of Wolverine or the first cameo appearance of Wolverine. But this all leads up to then Hulk 181, which again there will be a facsimile for as well. A little bit of a State of the Union issue next. We have Marvel Zero from Patrick Gleason. Some lovely art on the front there from Patrick Gleason, Venom and Spidey, of course. So sort of setting up the state of play in the Marvel Universe. You have Star Wars this week. We're up as far as issue 36. Charles Soule continuing to expand his Star Wars universe. Speaking of expanding Star Wars, we have Star Wars Yoda. We're up as far as issue 9 now. Mark Guggenheim continuing on this. I think Yoda's scheduled to be 12 issues, I think. Next up is issue 2 of Storm. So Ann Nocenti continuing on this. So again, this is part of Marvel's sort of commitment to 4 or 5 issue miniseries set in previous continuities and timelines, and giving some of the older creators a chance to play in those sandboxes. Before we kick off the Immortal Thor, which is being launched soon, of course, by Al Ewing and Martin Coccolo, what we have here is Thor Annual. So Colin Kelly, Jackson Lansing working on this one-shot story, but also has a little prelude to the new Immortal Thor, which will be coming soon. We have Venom this week, which is Venom 22. We've seen an upturn in Venom. I think people have been slowly coming back to it, which is great to see, because it was a little bit meandering there for a while, but I think the last 3 or 4 issues have really hit home and have felt really big and epic. We also have Venom Lethal Protector 2, number 5. So again, last issue for this mini-series. Again with basically playing in the sandbox of the older continuity. So Lethal Protector 2 there. We then have X-Men 24. So Jerry Duggan continuing with Joshua Cassar on the main X title. And then we finish off the Marvel stuff with X-Men Before the Fall, the Sinister Four. So this again is a collection of one-shots all under the Before the Fall banner. So Kieran Gillen on this one and Jesus Medina on art as well. Indie-wise, some cool stuff this week. First of all, we have Barnstormers from Dark Horse. So this is part of the, a few years ago, I've explained about it before on here, Scottober, which was always a month of new Scott Snyder titles around Comixology, working with different artists. This one was one with Tula Lotay, dealing with pilots during World War II. and it's finally coming to print as well. So just in the way that We Have Demons came to print, Night of the Ghoul came to print, this is the start of a 3-issue mini in print as well, oversized title there as well. We continue on with the Disney villain stuff, so Maleficent, we're up to issue 3 of that. Again, these do really well for sort of younger readers, bringing them into comics. We have a brand new Doctor Who one kicking off this week, which is Doctor Who Doomsday, a Doctor in the House. So brand new issue 1 for all you Whovians out there. We have new issue of Spawn, Rory McConville continuing to work on the main Spawn title. We're up as far as issue 343. One I'm definitely looking forward to this week, we had it on the board a while back, is Swan Songs. This is from W. Maxwell Prince, who has done things like Ice Cream Man, things like Haha. And what this is going to be, this is all about like the end of things. Every issue is going to have a different artist and have a different story, essentially. So yeah, anthology tale, but each issue is a one-shot. So you could pick it up just if you like the look of the story, or you can pick it up if you like the artist who's the co-creator of that specific issue. Next up, we have Walking Dead Deluxe. We're up as far as 66, so part 5 of 5 of Fear the Hunter, so bringing an end to one of the story arcs there. This is a cool looking new one called Weird Work from Jordan Thomas and Shaky Kane. I saw them describe this as the Noir of LA Confidential with the sort of world building and future aesthetics of Futurama. So that's a mix I didn't know I'd ever hear. And then finish off, this was actually out last week, World Tree, but we were short on our copies. We've got copies back in stock this week, so issue 3. We've got issues 1 and 2 on the shelf as well, if you're late to the party for this great James Tynion title. So that is all the single issues this week. As I say, pull lists are all done and organised, so if you're on any of those titles, they'll be safely in your box. So we'll move from there and on to the graphic novel side of things. So we kick things off with one of the Marvelverse books. So this one is focusing on Spider-Gwen. Well timed, of course, but given across the Spider-Verse. But yeah, the idea of these is always to collect sort of older stories together and almost make it like a crib notes or a crash course on a certain character. So for this one, you've got Edge of Spider-Verse 2, Spider-Gwen's first appearance. You've got Spider-Gwen, the 2015 series, number 5. Spider-Gwen 1 and 2 and 13 as well. So some of the key stories in the Spider-Gwen mythos. Back in stock is Berserker Volume 2 in advance of Volume 3 due out in a month or two. So this focuses on issues 5 to 8 of the Keanu Reeves, Matt Kindt and Ron Garney series. A new epic collection this week, which is Dead Reckoning for Deadpool. So this is the Joe Kelly run, and this is Joe Kelly concluding all of his stuff. So this is basically Deadpool 0 and Deadpool 21 to 33, Deadpool Team Up and Encyclopedia Deadpoolica. This covers the volume 4 of 1998 and 1999. I just mentioned there, Night of the Ghoul. It hits trade this week. Cannot recommend this enough. Absolutely fantastic work. Scott Snyder, Francesco Francavilla. This was actually a 4-issue miniseries as opposed to 3, but oversized issues and so forth. But I absolutely adored Night of the Ghoul. Really good horror title, really atmospheric and just really well told. Next up for you Star Wars fans, we have Star Wars Hidden Empire, so Charles Soule again. We're on a 5-issue miniseries here, Stephen Cummings on art. So this is one for fans of Solo. I know there are some of you out there, because for me that's the best recent Star Wars movie. Sword of Azrael, this was a fantastic miniseries, Sword of Azrael from Dan Waters. 6-issue miniseries, Jean-Paul Valley returning, great stuff, and the kind of stuff you don't see enough of, I think, in modern comics, you know, respecting the characters from the past, you know. So next up we have Thor. This is Thor of Volume 5, The Legacy of Thanos. This covers Thor 27 to 30 and also the one shot which was Thanos Death Notes. So this has a cavalcade of creators working on it. Al Ewing, Donny Cates, Torun Grombeck, Christopher Camwell, J. Michael Straczynski, Kyle Stark, Salvador LaRocca, Nick Klein. Tons of great people were involved in this one. Especially at Thanos Death Notes, I believe, is anthology based, so that's why you have a few creators there. Next up we have DC vs. Vampires All Out War Volume 1. So this is your companion piece to the main DC vs. Vampires series. This contains DC Vampires Hunters number 1 and also the first 3 issues of All Out War. A cool one which is really, it's out this week, is Batman vs. Robin. So this was Mark Waid, Mahmoud Asrar on art, father versus son. This was all the prelude to all the Lazarus Planet stuff. Just really, really well told story. Beautiful art as well. It had great Capullo covers. And then, yeah, Mahmoud Asrar on art the whole way through as well. We're continuing on with the Batman One Bad Day stuff this week. So last week we had Riddler come out. This week we have One Bad Day Penguin. This one was by John Ridley writing and Giuseppe Camuncoli on art. And then you have Two-Face, which was Mariko Tamaki writing and Javier Fernandez on art. So we're continuing on with that. We have Marjorie Finnegan, Temporal Criminal. This is the complete 8-issue miniseries through AWA Studios. Really, really fun time travel story. Very much an adult story. Very much not safe for kids. But really, really fun. As I say, it was 8 issues in total. Garth Ennis writing and Goran Sudzuka on art. We have Pretty Deadly in this week, which is an old story from the past. This is Kelly Sue DeConnick and Emma Rios. This came out around the sort of golden age of Image. You know, your Saga's coming out, your Deadly Class is coming out, you know, Sex Criminals, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Pretty Deadly was really, really good as well. And that is volume 1. We have Redemption back in stock, which was one of our favourite stories done through AWA Studios so far. Very much Western meets Mad Max. Krista Faust writing and Mike Deodato Jr. on art. We then have Something is Killing the Children back in stock, volume 6. So the most recent volume. This covers issues 26 to 30. And again, we try to keep all 6 volumes on the racks. And then a couple of big bad boys to finish. First of all, we have the Mike Allred Madman volume 1 in stock. So Madman is a universe set up by Mike Allred. He wrote and drew this series. For the first time, Madman's debut series is presented in colour for the ultimate surreal superhero reading experience in deluxe oversized copy. So 680 pages in total. This covers Madman from 1990 to 1996. Reprinting For the Record, Madman Original Series 1 to 3, Madman Adventures 1 to 3, Madman Comics 1 to 10. His never before first foray in the comics called They, and features bonus pinups and art by talent such as Frank Miller, Jack Kirby, Mobius, Frank Frazetta, Emily Carroll, and more. So very definitive volume and rather beautiful put together, I have to say. And then we finish off this week with the Marvel Gallery edition for one of the best Spider-Man stories, Spider-Man Blue. Or, to be honest, it's called Spider-Man Blue, but they're actually sort of calling it here Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's Spider-Man. Just trying to make it a little bit more straightforward. But yeah, this was essentially part of Marvel's Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb, of course, did amazing work on Batman Long Halloween. Marvel used them in a way where they introduced the theme of colour. So it was Hulk grey, it was Spider-Man blue, Daredevil yellow, and then Captain America white, which they did later on as well. But yeah, this is the story of Peter Parker's first love, Gwen Stacy, a love he would never forget, but now he has to learn to live without. So the usual Peter Parker heartbreak, but it is a gloriously illustrated, brilliantly told story, Spider-Man Blue. So that finishes us for this week. So again, all this stuff going on the racks this week on the 5th of July for a new comic book day. Again, all pull lists are in there and ready to go. And we'll be peppering these out throughout the new releases and also some of it just into the back catalogue as well. So as ever, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed being kept up to date. I look forward to seeing you in store throughout the week. And I'll just see you soon. Take it easy.